Good morning, Faith. This is Mike Pettengale, your missionary for over 13 years. As a reminder, when Aaron and I left Africa about 3 years ago, we moved back to the West Coast where we originated from. And that's where we are now doing full-time ministry. I'm the director of Mission to the World's West Coast efforts in the United States, responsible for raising up and mentoring new missionaries and getting churches involved in missions from the 9 western states. In the upcoming months, we have a lot of activity going on. In the next couple weeks, Aaron and I are going to be going to Tucson, Arizona, where we're going to host MTW's disaster response training for about a week. We're going to host the event, but we're also going to be teaching classes there. After that, about 2 weeks after that, I'm going to be going to Korea for a week with a group of people from the PCA churches out here on the West Coast and from MTW to try to figure out how Mission to the World can get more involved and start a ministry site there in in South Korea. And shortly after that, we're going to be taking a vision trip to Japan to figure out if we can get more missionaries and churches involved in ministry there in Japan. I'll be leading a group of about 15 people on a vision trip there. I'm doing lots of travel internationally and domestically. I've been in the last couple weeks, I've been at Presbytery meetings in Oregon and California and Utah. Been doing a lot of training and preparing missionaries. But to give you just kind of a fun little sample, let me tell you about 2 missionaries that we have raised up and are training now from the West Coast. We have the Nam family, and they're headed to Taiwan. It's a family of 5. They just started their MTW training. They're from Southern California, and they just started their training in June, and very exciting to say that they are fully support raised, and they're headed out to Taiwan here in a couple of months. They really raised their support and did all their training in a great amount of time, and we were integral in kind of bringing them into the mission system and to train them and to help them raise their support. Got another family whose name I won't mention for obvious reasons. We have a husband and wife. The husband is of Iraqi descent, and he was fighting for the Iraqi military during the first Gulf War when they were told to go into Kuwait. He didn't feel comfortable about that, so he left the military and fled the country, went to Cyprus where he became a Christian, moved to the United States where for years he worked for the Department of Defense to help teach them about Islam and the Middle East. He and his wife now, after he's recently graduated seminary, are in the MTW process to be missionaries back to the Middle East. And this is another missionary that we've helped to raise up, and we're now training and helping him raise support. So some neat fruit is coming out of what we're doing here on the West Coast. You can be praying for the fact that some of the cliches about the West Coast that you're thinking of right now are true. Underchurched, not dedicated to church, and it's hard to get pastors and congregations to think about missions and outreach when we can barely get people to attend churches. So be praying that the Lord continues to help us to raise up new missionaries from the West Coast and the 9 western states, and that we can train them and prepare them for the mission field. We thank you for your support in your prayers and your financial work, and continue to pray that Aaron and I can continue to send out and train and mentor lots of new missionaries from the West Coast. Love you all. God bless. Bye-bye.